Hello there, this is Trish from Pinky's World. I was having a wee scoot around YouTube and I came across a lady who does lovely vintage stuff. Now vintage is not my thing, I am just no good at it. But she had made this lovely tag pocket and it really intrigued me, so I thought I'd have a wee go. And this is the way she made hers. Paper clip in the back. It's a hidden paper clip idea and you get a wee tag there. Pop wee things, different things in here. Good for your journals and stuff like that, I suppose, but it's just not something I will ever use. But it did spark an idea that I will use in my, called a laundry room, but it's a spare room with the laundry stuff in it. I have an IKEA set of those drawers, the cubes with the drawers in them, and I've stuffed everything that I need, everything but the kitchen sink, and it's so disorganized, and every time I'm looking for something I have to pull each one out because I can't remember what's in each one. So I came up with this idea, which is another version of this, only my own version. I decided to take it a few steps further than what this girl, I think it's called Kathy's Garden. If you want to check her out, I'll try and remember and pop it down below. If I don't, ask me if you need it. So anyway, this is what I've gone with. I made one that has will hold my wee mechanical pencil, so I can write down what's in each box and what I need to replace. And it has two tags as well, a bit longer. I went for a larger size, but it has the hidden thing which I need because my boxes are made of cloth material. So if I go to, I did actually put sticky things on it, but they all eventually just flew off, so it was a waste of time. But now with my paper clip, I'll be able to clip it onto the basket, have that in front of each. I won't need a pencil for each. I'm going to make just the plain one, but I want to show you how to add the pencil in case it's something you might use yourself. I thought it was a really cool idea, and the wee shape was lovely, and the hidden paper clip was really good. So you definitely need a big paper clip. So if you fancied having a wee go, it's great for using up your old papers. This is retired paper, Berry Burst or something, or Berry something or all from years ago. But I like the red and green because my baskets are red in there. So that's what I'm going to go with if you fancy having a wee go. These are all the things you're going to need. Wee bits and pieces. This is just a scrap for doing the bar across here. And the stamp set that I'm going to use is called Darling Details, lovely wee stamp set, and it has just a note, which I thought was appropriate because you're making notes. So next on the list that you're going to need is your mechanical pencil. These come in the pound shop. You get 5 for £1. You can't beat them. They're really handy. Got a wee rubber in the end, and you just push the rubber, and that gets your lead out. And then when you finish, push your rubber in and push the lead back in, and it's kept safe. It won't break off on you. So lovely. Really good buy then. So get yourself some of those. For the actual bit itself, you're going to need a piece of paper, double-sided preferably, but you don't really see the double side. I'm just using the other side of another piece. So just use whatever you have in your stash. Get your stash busting going. This piece measures 4 inches by 7.5. So that's the size I wanted, so that I'll be able to cover up what I need. And you just want to score it, just one score to start you off, and it's a 2.5. That's the width I want it to be, which should give me enough room to cope. So fold that 2.5, crease it, make sure it's nice and straight, and then line this up, and you want to go shift it along if you have to, so that you're scoring right at the edge of the fold that you just made. And this one will fold in. If it works out that it's a wee bit too long, then you just want to trim this off. It just depends on where you put your score. I'm just going to put a wee nick off it. It'll not matter too much, but it'll make it sit nice and neat. I want to be able to fold that over, and that's all nicely covered in. Get this out of the road. So at the front here, actually you can use that. You line that up, you know that's 2.5, so you want to put a wee mark at 1.25. And this is your front piece, your front fold. And I'm just going to use an inch punch, whatever punch you have, use. and just line that wee mark that you made in the middle. I'm going to go down a wee bit just to give them more room. And that gives you a nice wee place for your tag to sit, so to be able to get it in and out easily. This one is going to be where you're going to pop your doodah, your paper clip. I can't remember the name of it there. So close that over and get it in the centre. Now the lady who did this tutorial, she stuck hers with a hot glue gun. My glue gun's in the other room and I can't be bothered getting up to do it, so I'm going to use UU, which will work equally well. I have tried it out and it does work well. So just pop it on either side. You can move that up and down so that the glue is going even underneath it, and that will hold. Give it a good wee amount just to hold it in place. And then we're going to close over our back. So you just want to put glue on that so that it holds around the edges and stuff. And just a wee wad in the middle. Just fold it over. Just make sure your other end is closing properly and just give it a good press so that the paper clip is gripping all the stuff, sticking nicely. And give it a wee rub. And you've left this so that you're able to slide that into your basket or into your journal or whatever you want to use it for yourself. So we're now ready to stick this one. And of course we want to leave a pocket for ourselves. So also remember, if you want to go vintage, to add your inky bits as you're doing this. Don't wait to the end. So we want to close this, so we're just putting glue here and here. So just a wee line of glue to hold it for you. That's it, just the two lines. And just spread it over nice and straight. This paper is actually lovely. I'm a sucker for gingham, so especially red gingham. So that is your one pocket made at the back. And we'll make our tags in a wee second. You want to cut another piece, and I've went with the red this time, and it's 2.5 inches by 2 inches. And again, I'm going to mark it in that wee centre so that I can scoop out another wee bit. I'll do it with my pen so that you can see it better. Just go to the 1 1/4 and put a wee line there. And punch it out with your 1/2 inch punch. I'm going to go down a wee bit. Just get that wee mark in the middle. Punch it out. And this is just going to stick right here with a bit of glue. So again, you're just going around the edges. Ugh, sticky Mickey. Just pop that there at the end. Should line up nicely. Oh, sugar! I forgot to tell you before you stick that front piece down, you want to add your pen. Now, it doesn't really matter. I did it that way myself, and I thought it would be just nicer, but it works out okay. I did stick it to the back, and that's going to be against my basket. But if you want to keep things neat, before you close over the front, do this. Stupid, forgot all about it. So this is your piece for your pen, the pen holder, and it needs to measure 2 1/4 by 2 inches if you're using one of those wee pens. If you're not, cut that piece of paper, put your pen inside and roll it, and then you're roughly going to know, how much you need. If your pen is different from mine, crease it there with your nail, measure it off in your scoreboard and score down. I'm going to go to 5/8. I'm swishing it round and going 5/8 on the other side. And I know that fits my pen, so you just be wary of what size your pen is. So I'm just going to pop some glue. And that would have been folded over and then slipped in there and then closed it down. And that would have hit all your makings. Stupid me, I just totally forgot. But sure, no harm done. Mine will be fine because they're not going into journals. They're going onto my baskets. And I'll take a photograph of it when I've finished. And pop it on my blog. You'll see it on my blog if you want to have a look at how it looks. But I am so excited. I love to get organised and this will definitely help me. So before you fully seal, just make sure you're happy with everything and it's all covered. And then you can just stick it to the side, back, whatever turns you on. I'm just sticking mine on the back again. Silly now. So I'm going to switch that round to the front so that I know exactly whereabouts I would like it, sort of roughly. And just squeeze the two of them together so that it's nice and neat. As you can see, it really doesn't cause too much hassle if you're like me and forget. I mean, it's going to tone in anyway. And it's a good wee idea. So we're going to do a wee bit of stamping and get that sorted. You want to cut your piece, your strip at 2.5 inches in. Just a piece. This piece was just lying there looking at me this ages. I think it's only about 1/2 inch probably. If even that, just depends on what you're stamping. It's just over 1/2 inch. But it fits what I want to do. So I'm just going with the red flower again, real red, and that wee flower stamp out of the, what did I say you called it? Darling Details. Cute wee stamp set. So I'm going to just pop that at one end and do another one at the other side. And the 2.5 inches is just perfect to allow you to add your sentiment. And the sentiment is going to, I'm just going to do it in black, just so it sits out for me. And it says, just a note, if you're doing a journal, then pick something nicer. This just suits my needs. So we're just going to stick that with a few wee raised up dimensionals just to keep it just sitting out a wee bit. And because it's 2.5 inches, it should just fit perfectly along the front. I mean, you could just put a wee butterflies or something. If you go and check that lady out, she does a lovely vintage feel to it. Oh, I'm upside down. Holy moly. So busy trying to get it straight. Try again. There. So now we need our wee tags. And for the tags, you're going to need 2 pieces of white. I want the white because I want to add the wee list with my pen. And this one is 2 inches by 4 and this one is 2 inches by 3. And I'm just going to use a wee excess bit that's cut to 2 inches of the red. If you pop that in and mark it, you could put it at about 3/4 of an inch. I'm just marking that lightly to give me a wee straight line. Add some glue above the line you just created. And it just adds that nice wee matching trim. It's hard for me to see that. Just take them away where it is following the line perfectly. So do the same to the other side and mark it about 3/4. And we'll chop this one off and use that wee bit of excess for that. Just follow the line of your card. Again, go in there with that. I'm going to use a retired tag punch. Using lots of retired stuff today. If you haven't got it, just chop up there and punch a hole, and there's your tag made. So where's that line? Goodness, my light's desperate. Just try and get it straight. If you're not sure it's straight, slide the two of them up on your board so that it's lining up nicely for you. Let it dry and chop it off. It needs a wee trim there. So now we need to put it into the punch. Now this is a good old punch, scalloped tag punch. And I am on a tag design team, so I'll not be getting rid of this. I'll always have it, and you can see that gives you a lovely wee finish. But as I say, if you haven't got a tag punch, don't worry, just do your cutting and punch a hole. That went through okay. Nope, something's sticking. That's it now. Brute force as usual. So, get rid of my scraps. That is your wee tags done and dusted. And they will just slip in. One of them I'm going to add a bit of ribbon. This is the Real Red and Garden Green ribbon. I think it's still available, I'm not sure. Just cut yourself a couple of inches. And thread through the larger one. I'm not going to put it in the small one because it I've tried it and it kind of got in the road. So I just want that to be able to be pulled out nice and easy. I don't want to make work for myself when I'm trying to make life easier. So just thread that through the top. That gives you a wee bit of a grip for that one because it's in the back. And again, use that for your list of what you have in your basket or whatever. And use the front one for, oh, are you going to go in there now? Push my, must have a bit of glue stuck somewhere. Get in. If it doesn't go in, chop a bit off the bottom. I'm going to leave you there, I'm not going to force you. Well, it's going now. And this one goes in here, as I said. Same again. Need to release the glue a wee bit. That gives it a wee release for you. Just pop that there. And that is me finished. I think they're really cute. I am so happy with them. So glad that I'll be able to clip them on and not worry about sticky stuff, you know, coming off with the heat of the tumble dryer or whatever. So, hope you enjoyed that, and I will link the lady below because it was her original idea for that nice wee vintagey one, which is really cute too if you were adding it to a journal or your diary or whatever. So, I'll have all the measurements on my blog. Everything I used, most of it unfortunately is retagged, but anything that isn't, I will link for you. And remember, you can get those in Pound Land, I think you call it Pound Land. You get a pack of 5 for £1. So, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all again soon. Bye.